Well, hey, we're glad that you're joining us again for another episode of our podcast, Belonging, Becoming Beloved. And so, Francis and I are excited that you joined us once again. And our guest this week is Bobby Musengwa from originally from 20 years in Florida at Maximo Presbyterian Church. And now he's the transitional general presbyter in Mission Presbytery. So we're excited that you're here, Bobby, that I've known you for a long time through New Worshiping Communities. We see you wear the red shirt places. You are a coach. You are highly involved in the Peace USA and a number of things. And so we just want to welcome you here. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So, yeah, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about you and what you do, what your passion is, and we'll just kind of go from there, I guess, is the best way.
Yes, thank you for inviting me to be part of this conversation. Um, Obviously, I've been serving in the Presbyterian Church USA for many years. I started when I was in college uh, with the Presbyterian Hunger Program for several years, about 3 years. And from there, I would be, wherever I was in the different uh, presbyteries. Coastal Carolina was my first presbytery, and then Presbytery of the James in Richmond, Virginia, and then in New Jersey. Then I was ordained in Milwaukee Presbytery.
Hey, we'll be there soon.
Yes, indeed. That's like my home.
Oh, wow.
You're going to have to take us to all the food places.
My wife and I were married there. Two of our three children were born there.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and they tried to ordain me, and I decided to run away back to South Africa, where I come from. Took my wife and my daughters and gave away 2 cars and everything we owned, and decided to leave before they could catch me and ordain me. I decided to go to law school there.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And that didn't work out.
So you have a law degree?
No, that didn't work out. I ended up coming back because that church would not leave me alone. They kept writing me letters. They wrote me 5 letters to come back.
Goodness.
Like they truly believe I was supposed to be ordained.
Oh my God, love that story. It's like Jonah, a different version of Jonah. My goodness.
Yeah, but I think it was Montreat Conference Center that finally did the job, because I was a co-director of a youth conference there, and that was my very last act. I thought that was my very last act in America. I would just go fulfill that and then go back, finish. I got registered into a PhD in political science there, and I was teaching at the University at Rhodes. So it was my last act as I came back to the U.S. to finish what I had started in Montreat. Went back to Wisconsin to help them with Vacation Bible School. And they say, "Oh, you are here. We want to interview you." And the rest is history.
Oh my goodness.
So where is that church? Where is that church in Milwaukee?
So that church is in Vernon. It's called Vernon Presbyterian Church. It was older than the state of Wisconsin.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in the rural area, in unincorporated place. Yeah, so we lived at a place called Mugwanago, which is a Native American name for place of the bear. Not far from Milwaukee itself. But yeah, so the people of Milwaukee were instrumental in me being ordained as a Presbyterian pastor.
Wow. How long did you remain there in Milwaukee?
We were there 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was quite amazing.
Dragged all the way from South Africa back and served as a pastor for 7 years.
Yes, I served in that church for 7 years. A part of that, in the beginning, it was when I was director of Christian education, because I have a master's degree from the Presbyterian School of Christian Education before I went to Princeton Seminary for MDiv.
Got it. Wow.
So I've
You like
always
all the education.
Well, I've always thought of myself as an educator, you know,
That's
and
amazing.
that's what I was running away from being ordained as a pastor or teaching elder. But teaching was is my thing. I like to teach, and then you know the title of the pastor in the Presbyterian Church is teaching
Teaching elder. Yeah.
elder. So that
Yeah.
was confusing to me, you know.
Yeah. So tell
That's
us a little bit more about your journey, because I'm intrigued. Why, what caused you to go back to South Africa? Like, because as an immigrant, I can share with you. I think about going back to Taiwan from time to time, but like to actually like pack the bag and do the deed, I don't know. That's bold. So I was just wondering
That was
what
both.
yeah, what made you take that action? I mean, I'm sure it's something really you feel convicted to go back.
Well, the vote was coming up by the presbytery to say I would be ready to be ordained. So
Uh-huh.
that was like a crisis, you know.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
wow.
You know, and then also the immigration laws were beginning to change
Yeah.
at that time. But yeah, the idea of ordination as a Presbyterian pastor, I had not completed my Hebrew studies, but at that church, when I told them, no, I can't be ordained, I didn't finish my Hebrew studies, they said, oh, we do have a professor in our midst who teaches Hebrew. And he was using the exact textbook that I used at Princeton.
Oh
And
my gosh.
he was willing to come and knock at my door every Wednesday at 2 p.m. And he was never late.
She
And he taught me for free.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
so I thought I'll just go through the emotions. No, this was real.
God was
wow.
chasing you.
Yes, yes, yes. It was real.
Wow.
So
Thank you for sharing.
that's why I tell people you can run, but you can't hide. And there are some people who came from Maximo who went to seminary. Some of them, were inspired in different ways by the fact that they could run, but they could not hide from God.
Yeah,
Love
because you
that.
have, because like when we talk about Maximo, like, and even your history, like so many people that you've made connections with entered into ministry. It wasn't
Yes.
like, hey, they just became Christians and sat in the pews. You really energized people to do things.
Yeah,
Because
they did. They did. Lee Hasty Hinson, or Hinston Hasey, when he was the director of the Theological Education Fund, sent a group to Maximo to interview me about what is it by about Maximo that was really inspiring people to go to seminary. And it had happened before I came. There were several people who had gone to seminary, and there were other people who went when I was there too. Um, so that congregation was like an incubator in really helping people think theologically, act ethically, and live faithfully into ministry.
how
And
is that done? I'm just curious. Like I've served churches and stuff like that, and it's a rarity to get people that
Mm-hmm.
are like, "Hey, I want to go into any ministry, let alone being ordained, going through the process." So what? Yeah, you talked about it's this Maximo thing that it wasn't you, it's this church. What did they do differently than normal churches to really
yeah, I think
inspire the next generations?
I'm not sure. I could say the people that I know there were just really just fantastic people who tried to live the very best version of the Christian values they understood. Um, so it was close to the college, Eckhart College, so about a mile from Eckhart College, which means education was very important there. the pastors they had there, it seems like all the pastors who were there had graduated from Princeton Theological Seminary. So,
Oh, wow.
I don't.
so
Are you trying to give an endorsement for Princeton?
I don't know. I mean, I looked at the history. I said, my God, that is amazing, including their founding pastor. Their founding pastor, I think, was born in Ghana.
Really?
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and in the 1960s, a white man whose parents were missionaries in Ghana and then came back here. But he was also a product of Princeton Seminary. So, yeah, and everybody who came after that, including my predecessors, were all Princeton alumni. Even the board of trustees of Princeton Theological Seminary showed up there. The entire board and their families came to worship when I was
Wow.
Wow.
there. When I was there,
You're the
Wow.
feeder church for Princeton.
I don't know. No, no, but the students, the people who came from Maximo didn't go to Princeton. They went elsewhere. You know,
Okay.
like the
Oh.
latest went to Fuller, another one went to others went to Pittsburgh and Columbia and several other places. Yes,
That's incredible. That just that
yes.
story of that church alone is incredible to be able to do that. Like I'm looking at like okay, the church. I'm like, how many churches? There's a couple churches I know that sent some people off and stuff like,
Yeah.
but it didn't have a culture of
Mhm.
developing leaders, and I find that incredibly amazing for a
Yeah,
church.
yeah. It was quite inspiring to see these young people go out to seminary. Um,
Well, there's
I
something
think,
that you.
wait, excuse me, including Hope. You remember Hope, who was in our
Yeah,
task force?
yeah. We
Yeah,
talked. Francis and I
yeah,
talked to Hope not on a
Yeah.
podcast, but we spent some time with Hope.
yeah, yeah. She was part of the. I think she worked with the youth there too, and
Yeah.
she too went to seminary.
How do you have conversation with the youth to kind of inspire them to go to seminary? Because nowadays when you go to seminary, there's just few people who are there to do the MDiv. And for our denomination, especially, we have a pretty interesting process. I don't know what word to use it, but other than interesting, because I know some people would spend years just trying to finish and walk that journey and get to the place where they can be certified ordainable. And so, like, even to share that doesn't give people a lot of excitement and hope. So I was just like curious, what do you do? What do you say? Especially because I'm sure there's something there. Because otherwise, why would you be able to send so many? So I don't know. Just curious.
Yeah, it depends. I think for many of them, we never recruited them to go to seminary. We just literally just listen to them, to listen to their stories, empower them. The fifth Sunday, when I first arrived there, the fifth Sunday of, if there is a month that has 5 Sundays, which there
Mhm.
are 4 months with 5 Sundays, the fifth Sunday was Youth Sunday, and the youth will take over and will be in charge of the entirety of that worship service. At first, it was really difficult, to let go of the reins and see the young
Yeah,
people. Are they going to mess up and all? But yeah, so they begin to be empowered by active participation in the life of the church and in uh, owning up the story of faith. So
yeah.
yeah, just empowering them. It was. I don't think we did anything special. I just think letting them know they belong. They have a sense of belonging.
I love
Um,
that. I love that because we've been having conversations,
mhm,
about youth
mhm,
participation, even in the General Assembly, because they're
mhm.
advisory delegates, right?
Yeah,
But at some point, if we really want to foster the next generation of leaders, we need to provide meaningful participation for people. for
Right.
the next generation, for them to feel like they actually belong. And so Sean and I've been talking about this a lot. It's not just saying, okay, come to the table, you can have a voice here and there, but like truly to be a part of something bigger. And I think that's what's needed for our next generation, to know that they mean something and their voice counts, not just as an advisory, but they really, count. And so I don't know. My hope is that we will continue to encourage, like you say, empower. That's important. That's so
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, I think it's not optional for us if we want to, um, to continue as a denomination. It's not optional where young people are relegated to just being, observers and uh, options who could be discarded. But I think what happens is that the the active incorporation of their voices, the active listening of their voices. I'm trying to think of it in the presbytery here. It's in the larger sense, and uh, we have here a camp called John Knox Ranch,
Mm,
and last week I went there to bless the counselor, the camp counselors. It was so amazing. They have youth, uh, y- y- what is it? Junior camp counselors and camp counselors. So the junior camp counselors are still in high school, and the camp counselors are the ones who are actually going to be doing it for the entire summer. But I think we do draw from these junior camp counselors who have already practiced uh, with the younger kids, being taking care of the younger kids. When I went there, it was before everybody was there, and it was two junior camp counselors who came to talk to me. They didn't know who I was, and it was so interesting to listen to them and to hear their stories. And and finally, I was so surprised. At that time, I didn't know that they were in high school. They were in high school. I said, wow, that's amazing. So they're going to graduate, and later on, they'll come back and work there. And the executive director of our camp is Henry Owen, who also grew up going to that camp.
mm,
So he was nurtured by this camp, and he continues that particular journey of passing on the
yeah,
blessing.
yeah,
So I'm really excited about that. Um, it is an integral part of Mission Presbytery, that particular camp. And
yeah,
then we also have Mo Ranch, which also work with young people um, and adults too. So we have the resources. We have everything that we need as Presbyterians to literally
Exactly.
fulfill the mission and the mandate that God has given us. Uh, we we don't lack.
yeah.
the
There's no
mentality of,
lacking.
the mentality of scarcity is not from God.
Amen. Amen. I
Yeah.
love
I
what you
think
say. It's not an option. It's not an
Yeah,
option.
yeah. No one in the church is an option. It's not like we can do without you. Everybody is important. Everybody matters. Everybody should have a voice and a place, a sense of belonging.
Yeah.
But the young people is it's important simply because they're in their formative stage. They are still becoming. They are
Mm-hmm.
growing,
Mm-hmm.
and as they grow, we just need to be open to letting them know that they belong to God, and we are here
Mm-hmm.
to embrace them and to love them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Love it.
I think like I remember back that I was like in high school. I was at a Tony Campolo crusade, and Tony Campolo, I love the way he used to be. And there's like thousands of us there, and he's like, "Stand if you want to dedicate your life to doing ministry. And I was like, yes, I'm standing to do this, but we don't. But oftentimes we don't ask that same question to our youth. Like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to be an ordained teaching elder. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
have reverend in front of your name. We want you to go and do. And I
Mm-hmm.
think oftentimes that we professionalized church
Mm-hmm.
ministry as opposed to saying you don't need to be us to have the reverend in front of your name or even an elder in front of your name in order to do ministry. You just need to do what is you're passionate for and go for it.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think also labeling it ministry helps a great deal. So, for instance, if let's say a young person uh, is volunteering, so I would say, thank you for your ministry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's ministry. Yes, it is ministry. Whatever you are doing for the least of these, you are doing ministry. So I try to frame a lot of things that we do as ministry, and I frame it out of a sense of gratitude for their participation.
Yeah.
And then I also remind people, like, everything we have here is of God, as from God. So, like the congregation, I'll say Maximo is God's mission. Here at Mission Presbytery, as a Mission Presbytery, is God's mission. God
Mm-hmm.
conceived of this particular mission in this particular location, and we were invited to come and participate in God's mission.
Yeah.
So I was called from Florida. I am from South Africa, and South Africa is playing in the World Cup today as we speak.
So you're trying
In
to
the
get done
open,
so we wrap it up.
in
Yeah,
the
let's go.
opening match, and you're interviewing me as but I'm here, and it's just really a great privilege to be invited to participate in God's mission. You know,
Yeah.
so God invites us to come and
Mm-hmm.
participate in this mission. Not because God
That's
is unable to do it without you, but
Amen.
we're being
Yep.
given an opportunity.
Yeah. I often talked about with congregations, with presbytery people, God's purpose and plan will be fulfilled, whether
Mm-hmm.
you decide to join or not. And it's not about you, but think about what does it do when you say no to a God that loves you so much? You
Oh,
know,
come
God,
on!
God
You
will.
mean are you trying to make them feel bad? Come
No,
on!
no, but I'm like trying
No,
to
I
say,
don't buy
no. But I'm trying to say is that honestly, the love, it's the two-way street, right?
Yes,
Seriously, right? Like we talk about we love God, but when God
yes,
presented you with an opportunity, don't
yes,
take it lightly. I'm not
yes.
trying
not
to
at
make
all.
you feel bad, but hey,
Okay.
sometimes that works.
Yeah. Well, I'd say it's an invitation, and we
Yeah.
accept the invitation out of gratitude, out of the
Mm-hmm.
sense of gratitude, and I just really like the idea that the opportunity is given to us, the invitation is given to us, and uh, being aware of what God has done in our lives,
Mm-hmm.
and then feeling that sense of gratitude and accepting that invitation to go. Think of it: you are being invited to get into, say, God's bus, and you sit shotgun, where you get to bear witness to what God is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like amazing, and God is doing so much in the world that we sometimes fail to see or appreciate, simply because we're overwhelmed with a sense of, one, scarcity, a sense of hopelessness, a sense of anxiety, all of that, just trying to dull this sense of gratitude, and,
Yeah.
and, and closing our eyes from the blessings that we have.
Yep.
Amen. You're so wise, Bobby. Hey, Bobby, you and I have known each other through the 1001 Network. You're a coach for 1001, specifically for African ministries and stuff like that. And then I just saw you in a picture of you in Louisville with the African leaders. Can you tell us a little bit about what is going on in the African world of the PCUSA? Because a lot of times it just doesn't disseminate into the larger church. What's God doing in the African world of the PCUSA? In the ministries there?
Yeah, that's a really important question. We have the African Presbyterian Leaders Alliance. We started that in 2019 in Baltimore, uh, and we're organizing the African Presbyterians in a way that we will have a structure. We do have a structure. I am the moderator of that. I've been a moderator for a while. So you saw the picture you saw when we were in Louisville this past week was when we have brought in some potential leaders for training, leadership training, because we want to train them to pick up the baton for
Mm.
the next chapter. Um, so those of us who've been in the forefront of this ministry, we're going to, be falling back as advisors and see a new cadre and a new cohort of leaders take the baton. And so to do that, we had to come together in Louisville to pray, to discern, and to learn together, and all of it scripturally based, and getting people to see the big vision and to subscribe to, I mean, to add to the vision and to subscribe
Mhm.
to it. So we have a set of leaders and new leaders. I'm very excited about this set of new leaders who are coming forth, um, just to guide the immigrant communities. We have lots of um, new worshiping communities where people are organized and are praying and are part of the 1001 new worshiping communities. Um, so we want their leaders to also have a sense of belonging, a sense of purpose, and also know that the PCUSA as a denomination embraces and loves
Mhm.
Africans.
Mhm.
Yes.
So we did that in the building at the headquarters. So we spent 3 days training people there. It
That's
was
great.
really fantastic.
So
I
So
are they mostly New Worship community leaders?
Yes, they're mostly new worshiping community leaders or coaches.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So it's really exciting to see that, and I mean, these are really really brilliant people. I'm talking some seriously engaged, brilliant people, scholars. Um, Several of them have PhDs, and some of us have incomplete PhDs like me. I got three of those under my belt.
Oh my goodness.
Just laughing through it. But yes, and several of those have published books. I mean, these are really serious thinkers, man.
Mhm.
So it was really, really energizing to be part of that journey.
That's
so
so
what is
awesome.
God doing in the African churches across the PCUSA? What is happening?
Well, I think what is happening is that uh, some of the churches are gathered. Um, there are some that belong to the same country, like Ghanaian. Think of
Hmm.
Ebenezer in Aurora, is a Ghanaian church, but Neema in Aurora is also an African new worshiping community, but it has people from many many countries. And Aurora itself in Denver, around Denver, has over 160 languages in their school system.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
160 languages. Uh, but they're gathering all of God's people there and
Mm-hmm.
worshiping. These other ones may worship in their language, the other ones worship in English, French, and Swahili, and some translations that they're doing is really amazing. And then there is another one led by Pastor Martin in the Dallas Fort Worth area. They have decided to not name themselves a Ghanaian Presbyterian Church. I think I don't recall the name off the top of my head now, but it is much more inclusive. You know, they're welcoming people from all other places, the United States and the rest of the world. So yes, it is just really fantastic to see God gathering people together. So basically, we see ourselves as participating in God's gathering actions.
Mm-hmm.
God gathering God's people, you know. When Jesus said, "When I am lifted up, I will gather all unto myself." So it is we have been invited to partake in the act of gathering God's people, to let
Mm-hmm.
them know that they all belong and that they all are beloved children of God.
Like Francis's Presbytery just opened up one of her used sites in order to host an African new worshiping community that they hope to be chartered in the next few years. And so,
End of
there
this year.
end of this year. Oh,
Wow, that's
Yeah.
so
awesome.
Yeah.
so
That is
I think
awesome.
part of it is us being open and welcoming to where the Spirit is moving for all these different things, especially
Yes.
in African ministries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and here at Mission Presbytery, we created two task forces. One task force is the Vitality, Congregational Vitality Task Force. And that one is focused on helping the existing congregations to discern how they want to continue to flourish
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
together. And we also have a second task force, which is a new ministries task force, and that is really helping the presbytery to discern where the spirit is moving. So what new ministries need to be born, what new expressions of faith need to be manifested in our midst. So we're excited about that.
That excites me too. I'm going to come to Mission now. I'm like, hey, do you have any positions open there?
No, 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 no. We learn from you. I like to learn from you, Sean in particular, and then Francis. I'm excited about the new chattering that is coming out forth. I want to learn. We want to learn a lot from what God has been doing in other places and see how it could be applicable in a Mission Presbytery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think for our case, I really cannot take credit for it. This church is pretty mature coming in. And so we are just grateful to be able to partner with them. So I would just kind of want to switch the gear because you're fairly new to Mission Presbytery. And I was
Yes.
just wondering if you would like to share a little bit more about your vision or what you're discovering God's vision for Mission Presbytery. And you and I, we have talked a little bit about this mentality of scarcity, which it seemed very prevalent in our church world nowadays because membership declining, and so everybody's thinking like, "Whoa, sky is falling. What are we gonna do?" But I love what you say about the abundance of God's amazing grace and all that. So I want to kind of hear a little bit more about your thoughts coming into this presbytery.
Yeah, I think Mission Presbytery is absolutely fantastic. It is big. Oh my goodness. That is the first thing that I
Yeah.
can say. It is huge.
So, Bobby, before we
Yes.
get started, I wonder
Yes.
if you can just tell us a little bit where Mission Presbytery is, because we kind of we have listeners who are not PCUSA folks, so they wouldn't know what's
Yes.
Mission Pres. So tell us, so people get an idea exactly where is Mission Presbytery.
Yeah, Mission Presbytery is in South Central Texas. So from Copper's Cove, uh, just maybe 2 hours from Dallas, south of Dallas, and it's 2 hours. Copper's Cove is 2 hours north of San Antonio, and the headquarters is in San Antonio. But we go down south all the way to Brownsville. We have the largest international border, U.S. Mexico border, is in Mission Presbytery. We have 66 counties,
Wow.
and yes, we cover 66 counties. We go all the way down to, uh, all the way east to Corpus Christi, and all the way west to the, uh, I forget some of the name, Uvalde area.
Okay.
So
Wow.
Del
Okay.
Rios. So it's large and it's vast. 66 countries that we cover. About 7 and a half hours of driving. If you were to drive it at once.
Wow.
But the people are really fantastic. In San Antonio itself, the demographic of San Antonio City is 65% Hispanic. So we have a lot of Hispanics in Mission Presbytery, including especially in the southern part of it. I think there were two presbyteries that were joined, and one of it was really like almost Mexican presbytery.
Mm.
So each area has its own subculture. So we've divided it into 6 regions. So those regions are important, making sure that each region feels like they are part of this massive presbytery. I'd say the big centers of Mission Presbytery are San Antonio and Austin. Austin being the bigger one, with many congregations there. And so Austin and San Antonio are about 1.5 hours apart. And we also have Austin Presbyterian Theological Seminary there,
Yeah.
which is a partner, of Mission Presbytery. We have Shriner University, Trinity University, Austin College. We also have the Pan American School. It's a boarding school, 100% international students in
Wow.
Kingville. And then 2 camps, John Knox Ranch, over 300 acres. And then we have Moe Ranch, which is also very well known, Moe Ranch in Hunt. So it's in terms of geography, it's a vast area, and it's got different cultures and subcultures, and it's important to immerse ourselves to each culture, to learn who the people are, to understand their language. Uh, if you go there with answers and solutions from the top, you'll be disappointed, because you'll find that the local answers are easy. They understand the problems, and they
Yeah.
understand the solutions. They just need the support on executing those solutions. So humility is important. Um,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then we have this river Guadalupe. That's the one that flooded on July 4th,
Yes.
Yeah.
2025.
Yes.
And 38 to 39 people died.
Yeah.
And some of them were children at a
Yeah.
camp. We have lots of camps, Christian camps, dotting the Guadalupe River.
Mm.
So yeah, it's a massive responsibility, and the staff here at Mission Presbytery is really fantastic. So I feel very blessed to be coming in here and finding that we have these people who are highly dedicated to the task, uh, and the leaders of the presbytery are just really fantastic. The COM, I met them the second day I arrived. Like I told you, some of them drive 2 hours, 3 hours,
Wow.
4 hours to come to meetings. That is
Wow.
just a second, the next level of dedication as
Absolutely.
you
Yeah.
know, in terms of ministry. So
Yeah.
yeah, there is a lot of dedication, but I'm grateful also that there is a technology like Zoom.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where some of the meetings we meet through Zoom. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it seems like they have not given up on the practice of meeting face to face. Some of them.
Wow.
like tomorrow, I'm going to Corpus Christi, where we're going to have a presbytery meeting on Friday and Saturday.
Oh, wow.
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 Yeah, and Corpus Christi is about 2.5 hours from here.
So share with us because we talked about this. You brought it up about the scarcity. This is not particular to one Presbyterian, where because I feel like as mid council leader or as Presbyterian leaders, those are some of the stories that we heard from time to time, especially for churches that has less resources. And so part of that, how do we really combat that kind of mentality and continue to provide hope to people, let them know that, God's grace is sufficient, right? And that's God's promise. And so how do you as a leader bring that message to smaller churches or churches that are struggling?
Yeah, I think first of all, let's just say when I go to preach to a particular congregation, I study their website, I study their mission, I talk to the people in there, and I try to learn about who they are, what their understanding is about their mission as a church. And, I find different ways of learning about that so that when I speak to them, I speak authentically about their struggles, their hopes, and their dreams.
Mm,
Um, so it's been very very interesting. So a good example will be one of the congregations was struggling big time, so they invited me to come on. I think it was on a Sunday. Was it a Sunday after church? Imagine after church on a Sunday, and you drive 2 hours, 2 hours and 10 minutes. And I sat there, and there was this really sense of doom in the congregation, and I just did not understand it. Basically, I told them about what I observed, which was having worshipped in the church. Uh, when we arrived, there was a very vibrant adult Sunday school class that I attended
mm,
as a student. A lay person was teaching. It was really well done. And
Yeah.
then when I went to worship, the worship was just fantastic. And so we just needed to get them to understand that they could invite people. And they said, there's nothing to invite people to. We don't have programs. I said, you have a Bible study, a Sunday school that was so fulfilling to me. Why don't you invite more people to Sunday school like that? And you have worship service. Why don't you invite people to worship? It was quite fulfilling. And I worked with them, helped them to understand that they could actually use some social media sites to do that. And Now they are really popping. I mean, it is unbelievable. Uh, their face, I follow their Facebook page. They post every single day, and their posts are inspiring the community. I think three new people joined the church,
Wow.
and they asked them how they found them. They said we saw you on Facebook, and you know the energizing effect of somebody walking into your congregation to worship after having spent many years in the wilderness with no one worshiping you. Basically, what I tell people is if you're talking smack about your church and you're saying we're dying, we're sinking, um, how do you expect people to come and join you? You're basically saying we are the Titanic, we're sinking. Come and join us. Come, let's sink together. Who is stupid to come and join a
I
sinking
love that.
church? Who is so stupid to join a sinking church? And why would you be stupid enough to? I mean, nobody's stupid. Nobody wants to join a sinking church. So you gotta literally see what God has given you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What has God given us? How are we responding to those gifts? And how are we sharing them with the rest of the world?
Yep.
Yeah.
Even if they're small. I mean, that kid, Gary kid brought his lunch. And Jesus said, hey, can I borrow your lunch, dude? That's 2 fish and 5 loaves and 2 fish, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Kid's lunch, broken, shared with the people of God. Was more than enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If a kid can bring their lunch to Jesus, you can bring more than your lunch. Jesus can multiply that into many things.
I love it.
Well, thank you, Bobby. We can go on and on and on and on with you because you're just a great relational person. So if people are going to go talk to people, talk to Bobby. Bobby is the conversationalist. He's a relational guy. He likes to talk to everybody, and he's fun to be with. But Bobby, we have one question that we always ask people before we go. Bobby, what is that food that is your favorite food if you're having a bad day and you need to have that food? And where can I get it? I don't know if I have to go to Florida or I have to go to San Antonio or I have to go to South Africa or maybe it's France because your wife's from France. What is that food that when you're having a bad day and you just need it, what is that food, your favorite food?
It's called acha. Acha is it's like a paste from mango or a pickled mango. It's and chili spice is really hot. Uh, we ate it when I was growing up. You find it mostly in Indian stores.
Okay.
So just this week I went to an Indian Pakistani store. You know how India and Pakistan are enemies?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But here in San Antonio, those two came together
Because
and
food.
created a store, an Indian Pakistani store, which I really like the idea
I
of
love it.
reconciliation embodied in a store and
Yeah.
feeding the community.
Love it.
And so I went there and bought that, and it is just absolutely amazing. It's hot, like spicy.
So is it like a dessert or is it like a main meal? Like do
No,
you
no,
eat
no,
it with
no, no.
anything else?
No, so it's not sweet.
Okay.
It's not sweet. So it is actually hot as it's got salt, so it's salty and hot. And you
Okay.
put in there, think of, is that chirachi? What is
Yeah,
that? Sriracha?
sriracha.
Yeah.
Sriracha, yeah.
Sriracha.
It's probably as hot as sriracha or more.
Okay. Hmm.
Okay. So you added to
what-
things, right?
So when so you can put it on the bread, on your eggs, or on anything. It will make anything edible. But if you have problems, it beats up all those problems out of your head.
I love it. Love it.
Oh, I'm sweating just thinking about.
Yes,
kebab
yes,
and
yes.
having
You
it on
sweat.
bread.
After you eat that, you sweat. you sweat out all your problems.
I love it.
Okay. We're learning a whole lot about different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, in South Africa, we had a lot of Indians from India. They literally lived
Really?
close by. Yes, from India. So, for instance, Mahatma Gandhi spent
Yeah.
25 years in South Africa. So
Oh, really?
when he graduated from law school, he went to South Africa to practice law. They threw him out of the train because he was in the train of white people.
Okay.
So that's when he started his campaign. He started his campaign in South Africa for 25 years.
Yeah, I knew
then-
it was in South Africa, but I didn't know for 25 years. That's
Yes.
a long time.
Yeah, so after he matured, we gifted him to India.
You trained him well, and so you
Yeah.
get him out.
Yes,
I love
yes,
that. I
yes.
love that.
But thinking of Gandhi, you know what? One thing he did to topple the British Empire was through the Salt March. What is the Salt March? The British took salt, the salt of India, and said this salt belongs to Britain. Because for prior to the previous 100 years, people used to think of salt as very scarce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they say salt is scarce, therefore we'll preserve it only for Britain. And then Gandhi said, India's salt belongs to the Indians. They said, oh no, you'll get hurt. So he had this salt march going to, and then when the British beat him up and beat his people up, that's where the British moral bankruptcy was exposed. And he brought down the British Empire. Simply because there is such abundance of salt. But when Britain clung to that mentality of scarcity, that salt is scarce and is only preserved for the British, Gandhi broke that, and in breaking that, he broke the empire. So the mentality of scarcity might actually lead you to ruin.
Mm-hmm.
Instead
Wow.
of
I love that.
Preach it.
instead of abundance, there was abundance. They could have
Yeah.
shared with everybody.
Yeah.
I don't want
gonna
to
use
take
that
all
now.
of your time. Yeah.
Well, I
Well,
love
Bobby,
that.
it is always a pleasure to spend time with you. And
Thank
you and I
Bobby.
spent the last 4 years together every once a month in our task force. So I don't get to see you as much anymore after 4 years of having this relationship. We don't see each other every month anymore. But
I
it's
think
great
you're
having
brilliant.
you with us.